on the Battery Man channel, we have tackled a lot of big battery home energy storage systems. And I have 3 EV batteries. I have over 190 kilowatt hours of storage, a 3-phase upgrade to manage it all. And I realized that not everyone is up for tackling projects quite so big. So what about you guys? You guys perhaps in flats or apartments, rented properties, or at the start of your solar journey? Well, I thought it was time that we do a video for you guys. This is where we introduce my friend Dave. Dave and I have been mates for years. We've worked on cars together, built battery packs from 18650 cells, and Dave has even been my best man. Like me, Dave is into DIY. In fact, he's built his garden shed himself, which features 2 DIY installed solar panels on top of his rubber roof. There has been a lot of talks in the UK recently about plug-in solar, so it's time to tackle plug-in solar. Mini man cave. Now, Dave, do you remember the time that you needed to get the wheel off your car? We were about to do a job and you didn't have an extension long enough to get it undone. So I found in your garden this wheelbarrow and stuck that on the end of your ratchet to give us the leverage.
Yeah, I thought you were being crazy at the time when you said, let's try the wheelbarrow. But it worked, yeah. Give us the extra leverage to get the wheel nut off. Do you remember that time we were making the base for your shed? And I said to you, have you checked your diagonals?
Okay, yeah, and I hadn't.
No, well, it was a bit of a diamond shape, wasn't it? So we had to correct it.
As you can probably tell, you're a bit more methodical in the way you think with things. I'll have a go, get on with it, whereas you'll think things through, and that has caught me a cropper a few times. So you built this thing behind us, didn't you? You built your shed, made it nice and sturdy.
Yeah, it was my first attempt at building my own shed. And
it's looking very nice.
Bit of a lockdown project.
So, you've already been using a micro inverter up there, and you've already got a couple of solar panels.
Yeah.
But you're finding a problem, aren't you?
Yeah, most of the time I'm using about 1.5 kilowatts, but generally most of the energy generated is going out to the grid. So this time of year I've been losing maybe 2 kilowatts a day, about 800 watt hours today so far. Okay. We've come to the conclusion that you need a battery. Yeah. Because, like a lot of people, with a smaller setup, it really isn't worth going to the effort of trying to get a grid export. You have explored the option, haven't you? But you're looking at sort of 250 quid to do that. Yeah. And then is it worth the cost for the amount you're sending back? And in reality, a battery is probably going to be a better option because then you can soak up the energy that you're using. Yeah. Now, weirdly, Dave is a really low user of energy. What's your average daily usage? It's sort of this time of year with the panels, it's been about 3 kilowatts. So that's all you need left? Yeah. Okay, that's pretty amazing, really. Yeah. Now, ordinarily at home, we're at least 15 to 30 kilowatt hours a day, and you add EV charging onto that, and it changes the game. Yeah. Okay. That's up. So your 2 panels, what microinverter did you use previously? So it was the EcoFlow 800 watt microinverter. Yep. Because the panels aren't optimally facing, I oversized the panels as much as I could. And yeah, so it's just been sitting underneath the panels, the microinverter. It's been very good actually. Nice. Easy to set up. But yeah, time to look at battery storage. Awesome. Whether people like it or not, plug-in solar is coming, and it really impresses me. The government have, in fact, the UK government produced a plan that they want to help people with plug-in solar to avoid their energy bills. And it's interesting that they talk here of retailers like Lidl and Iceland, alongside manufacturers such as EcoFlow, are working with the government to enable them to be brought to the UK market. Now, I think EcoFlow have been really clever here because they're already doing this in Europe, and for example in Germany there's already legislation for this, and we seem to be a little bit slower in bringing this out in the UK. So EcoFlow have kindly sent us their Stream Ultra. Now this is the big boy version that has the 4 inputs for the PV side and the battery. It does the lot. And let's find out what this thing can do, hey? You're already in the EcoFlow family. Behind you, you've got your
micro inverter box, haven't you? And these things are a bargain, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
To get people started.
Yeah.
But as you say, you've discovered that with this battery, you'll be able to reduce your grid import. Now, a battery like this isn't to cover all of your usage and entirely to get you off grid, but it's to cover your sort of base load, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what is your base load?
It'd probably be about 100 watts, something along those lines.
Okay.
I was thinking maybe trying to chase, you know, when you're putting your appliances on and things like that. But I think something like this, you're better off just capturing what sun you can and then covering the base load throughout the day.
Yeah, which ultimately that's going to then reduce your import. Now, they've sent along with this a plug.
Yeah.
I believe with this we can find one of your heavier usage appliances, and this will also spit out a bit more power.
Yeah.
To cover that as well.
On demand, I believe. Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, shall we open the box and find out what's inside? So the box isn't light. I've already had a little play in this, seeing what they've sent, but it's now your turn to find out what's inside, eh?
Okay. Instructions.
So that is a top cover to kind of cover up the connections. And that right there is our main lead, which we connect up. That's it's going to be interesting in a minute because they do things slightly different in the UK market. So inside there are the cables that we would use to extend from panels to the unit. So we've got all of our specs, but on the back here are 4 PV inputs, which is quite impressive. And then the power connections up here, they're independent outputs, meaning they can output even if this thing isn't connected to the grid, they can use up the battery. Grid connections here, and then we can, of course, parallel these things up and add more of them. This is the bag that I'm really interested in because this is our power cable, which is a obviously big chunky cable. This isn't humongous power, but it's impressive how chunky that cable is. It comes with the ends here, which I find quite funny because is it me or is that the exact cut that you need to fit on a UK plug? Now, I think EcoFlow, and I think you and I know that you're probably just going to stick a plug on this, so should we try that and get this unit powered up? British weather, eh? DIY Dave, do you think you'll manage to plug a plug in this part?
Yeah, let's give it a go. Connect the grid first.
So that's nicely locked in, just like a little cam. And then did you say a little Phillips to secure it down? Nice. There we are. So, is that a difficult installation?
Very difficult. Very, very difficult.
So now we've plugged it in, the amount of charges come up on the front and we've just got to connect it to the app to do your thing. Ultimately, we're not going to leave it plugged in here. We're going to do it properly according to the manual and put it in its permanent home, which is just hidden over there. We then carry out the setup in the app, and I'll spare you the excitement, but basically it can be summed up by this. Both Dave and I are agreeing that the devices are really easy to set up in there. We've both connected up devices before to our networks that have been a pain.
Yeah.
Is that network a 2.4
yes,
only?
It is a 2.4 gigahertz network.
So you've set that
only.
up for that sort of stuff?
Specifically for smart devices.
Yeah.
But it seems to pick up the device straight away. I think it's via Bluetooth. And then fires over the Wi-Fi password, and within 20 seconds it's connected up.
Yep.
It's like Knight Rider.
Do we need to turn it sideways?
Yeah.
While this thing updates itself, in the manual it shows 2 different ways. Now, these things have been out in and used in Europe for so much longer than in the UK. Europe is basically more advanced in the way it views this stuff. And in Europe, you can literally plug this into the wall. But here, they advise not to put a plug on it and connect it directly to its own circuit breaker or isolator. But when this is DIYers using this potentially, we all know that you're going to plug it in. But there are some considerations before you go and do that. For the power that these things are, I don't think it's an issue for most people's circuits. But there are a couple of considerations. These are both RCDs. And they look slightly different because one's bigger and one's smaller, but forget that for a minute. So the difference is that one of these on the top there says bidirectional. So it is designed to take power both ways, whereas the other one potentially could be blinded, meaning it doesn't operate as expected if you're to use that without. And most people on their ring circuits don't have bidirectional RCDs. So I would always encourage get an electrician to come and inspect your electrics, inspect the circuit, maybe your ring main that you plan to put this on, and then swap out this part. It's £5 part, swap it in your board. That's what I would do, but really I don't think these things are going to be an issue because they are designed knowing that this is how people are going to connect them. A voltage tester used by electricians, and we know that that is making a good connection, but I just want to prove that these things are really safe by touching the two pins on the end of this. So if I go for the live and neutral, it recognises a connection, but on the little screen there is no voltage. And this is the thing, this product is designed to work safely so that you can touch them and you're not going to get a shock. There is going to be dodgy Temu versions of this that are not safe, but this is why, to me, plug-in solar is really safe. The EcoFlow product here is okay to connect to the grid, the same as any other solar inverter. It is on that register of products that is able to be connected. So, with this unplugged, we'll go and put it down there. In preparation for no longer chasing the sun, Dave lifted up his panels, moved his existing microinverter, increased the size of the hole to accept more cables, and he reconnected up that microinverter in his shed. Now, technically, Dave could have left that microinverter there and just plugged it into one of the outputs on the back, but we want to use up the individual PV inputs on the battery, and he may well use that microinverter elsewhere on his property.
Sit. Wait. Oh, where did it sit? Which one do you want?
While we install this, Dave, how do you feel that your panels are just on the roof doing nothing because they're not connected to anything?
Let's hurry up, quick.
Dave already has a subboard in his garage with a circuit specifically for his microinverter, so we can just wire into that isolator and that will be our installation done. This is proving to be far easier than training a dog. With installation this easy, it got me thinking more people are definitely going to take this on. But how would that change things for our grid? If Dave's estate, now people aren't going to do this, but if everybody, let's say this estate has 500 houses, if everybody decided to get a product like this and install the 800 watts that these are designed for outputting on their own, that would be 400 kilowatts of power. That is a huge amount of power that the grid wouldn't need to provide, which people can produce in small amounts. Really, the little adds up to make a lot. And we might see some huge changes with people being able to access this and take energy independence to another level. It's interesting. See where things go, hey? So I think genuinely the only drawback I can think of with this is the cost. Now, to some, that might seem like a lot of money, but when you compare it with the cost of a full install on a house, then it's way cheaper, and it's a good way for people to get into solar. You did mentioned there's like additional features of being able to like parallel 6 of them, and also you were saying if you did have a power cut,
the sockets on the back, I believe, continue to work, so it almost becomes like a big power bank then.
Yeah.
So if there's a power cut, you could always disconnect this, move it to where you need it.
Yeah.
And utilise an appliance.
Yeah. So yeah, keeping the telly on, keeping the internet on.
Yeah.
In a power cut. That's yeah. There's a lot of value in stuff like that, isn't there?
Yeah.
This was your previous inverter.
Yeah.
So swapping from this to that, what have you gained?
Well, I never realised it until I was talking to AI about this, but this inverter obviously is grid tied. It can only output 800 watts.
Yeah.
And the panels up there are 605 watts. So in theory, this Stream Ultra can take up to 500 watt per port, which means this battery, although it grid tie can only output at 800 watts, it can still charge the battery at up to 1 kilowatt off those 2 panels.
So effectively, in the summer, because so 500 watts per panel, they're 600 watt panels, which means there's definitely going to be opportunities for you to get that full 500 watts.
Yeah.
So you've effectively increased both those panels by 100 watts.
Yeah. So
as well by swapping this.
Yeah.
Because it's allowed you to make full use
it goes into the battery
of those panels.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So a little bit of sneaky extra power, as well as getting power that you would have given away for free. So yeah, it's a nice little feature, isn't it?
Yeah.
And of course, you can still install this somewhere, and you've got the potential of 6 panels.
Yeah.
We were chatting about the 2 AC outputs on the back as well, and you were telling me that you might have an idea for how you're going to use them.
Yeah. So I mean, while it's in the shed, potentially, I've got 2 appliances always connected: the fridge, and the Wi-Fi.
Is that the beer fridge?
The beer fridge. Yeah. Don't tell anyone. So yeah, potentially those could be plugged in directly to the back, and then all their power is going to come from solar and the battery.
Okay. Which means if that thing is producing more than it wants to output back to the grid, the 800 watts, you basically get these devices get to skip that.
Yeah.
And they're getting run directly off the inverter. So it's kind of another way you can sneakily use a little bit more power than you might have been able to. Yeah. Without sort of breaking any rules.
Yeah. So maximum that can put into the grid is 800, but it can do another 400.
If you're registered as the UK.
Of course. Yeah. But of course, there's another 400 if you're using the sockets on the outside, because it can go up to 1200 watts maximum.
Okay. Yeah, which if you're adding on more panels, that's really going to come in useful then, isn't it? Because if you get to that point where your battery is getting full, you've got these other loads that are just soaking up the extra solar. Yeah. Nice. There's lots of like hidden little features and benefits, isn't there?
Yeah, it's just getting your head around how to use it in the best way, really. Yeah.
So people, I am loving that plug-in solar is coming our way. This sort of stuff to me, I'm a DIYer, Dave's a DIYer, so being able to get involved with this stuff, the idea that we might see this stuff in supermarkets, that it's more accessible to the average guy, that is really special to me. Now, this isn't going to be for everybody. If you're trying to do what I'm doing with massive energy storage, if you have tons of money to plaster your roof, if you own your own house and you want to go crazy, then there are other ways to do it. But this is perfect for those that are DIY focused, that want to dip their toes and play with solar. And of course, it's going to help Dave to reduce his bills, and above all, it's going to help Dave to avoid sending that money back to the grid for no benefit for himself. And that to me is awesome. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about these products, and I'll see you next time.